Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm Jamie, and today I wanted to do a review on the new Tarte Maneater Temptation eyeshadow palette. So I picked this up the other day from Ulta. I thought it was really interesting. I am a sucker for Tarte shadows. Really love them, really love their Amazonian clay formula. So this caught my attention and I thought the packaging was really innovative. I'm gonna go step you through some swatches, talk with you about the formula, and then do a demo on my eyes. By the way, I am wearing it right now, so a little sneak peek. But I'll just tell you what I think about this and some of the facts about it, and we can go over it together. I'll also compare it to the Tartelette in Bloom palette and the Tartelette Juicy palette, the big one. And I know they have a new Tartelette Juicy palette, but I don't have that one since all the shades are what's in the big one anyway. So let's talk through this, and if you guys are interested in videos like this, which I'm sure you are, please consider subscribing to my channel below. I'd really appreciate your support. Well, let's jump right in. So this is the cool Maneater palette. They're calling it the Maneater Temptation Eyeshadow Wardrobe, and it's pretty innovative with the packaging. I feel like you can go like this. I know that Tarte's had this in the past with some of their blushes, but never, you know, fitting 12 shadows into, you know, one little stack. But I love this. I think it's really convenient and portable. I think that it doesn't allow as much room for as much shadow as you would get in a typical package, but let's see. We'll actually compare what the net weight is compared to what it is over here, but I believe I did some comparisons. I believe this is more. So anyway, it's $39. It's got this cool mirror on the end, and it has these shadows that fold out. So really awesome and convenient, and it feels, you know, substantial and weighty in my hand, and the packaging just feels sturdy. So I don't feel like this is at risk to break or anything like that, but it's pretty cool. I am interested, and I love neutral palettes. Love, love, love. I'm sure if you've watched my channel at all for any length of time, you would know that. And I'm a sucker for like a shiny lid, and so this palette looked like it was right up my alley. What I love about this really is that they did half shimmer and metallic and half matte. So shimmer, 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 and the rest are all matte. And you know, they gave you the darker matte tone so that you can build up your outer corner. So really, all in all, this is like exactly what I feel like my color story typically is that I go for. So it's really brown and neutral other than this one like pink shade in there. So I did some swatches and we can go through these together. Now, it gets a little complicated because the layout of the palette and then the way that they have this shades described over here, it's a little tricky for me, so please bear with me. But I swatched them here on my arm, and let me talk you through them. So the first shade over here is this really light, shiny color, and I believe that one is called Cloud 9, and it's just a nice, creamy, like a light, you know, white, off-white type of color, so definitely creamy and sparkly, and I would consider that more of a satin formula because it's not as heavy metallic as the other ones, but I do have it in the corner of my eye right now, and it pops, you know. It's got some opacity there, and it's really nice. So then moving down the line, this other color that's like lighter, that one I believe is called Idol. And it's just this nice warm light brown, kind of like a caramely color, I would consider it. And that one is called Idol. Then moving down to that next one, it's Attract, I believe this is called, the shimmery one. And this one has like a tint of pink in it. So it's like, it's brown, but I think it's got a little bit of pink, and I definitely call that a metallic. And you can see that one there. And then this next shade that I believe is called Roar. This one, it's a little bit, it's a darker brown, and it's like darker, one shade darker probably than this one. And it's nice caramel color again, just a deeper, richer chocolate. And I would say that it's interesting, the two darker mattes in here, like this one and this one definitely, and this one, they seem to be drier of a formula. Oh, definitely this one right here is definitely a drier formula than the typical Amazonian clay formula. But I did find that like these I felt like were so smooth and buttery, nice mattes. They just feel smooth to the touch, nothing chalky about them. I definitely feel like the dark mattes in this palette, this one, and even, no, not so much this one, mainly this one and this one are really that chalky type of matte, but the lighter mattes don't feel like that at all. So I don't understand why. I feel like in the Tartelette in Bloom or Tartelette Juicy palette, very chalky, and that the metallics in here are very chunky, and in this one smooth and, you know, definitely buttery. So I don't understand why they're moving in that direction with their formulas. I really don't get it. Why try to fix something that's not broken? I don't understand. But anyway, let's just move on to the next little quad here. And that one would start with this shade right here, this creamy white shade, and that is called Loved. So this one's Loved. This one is called Wild One. And that is like, you know, the creamy white shade is just what it is. It's just a cream and it's matte. Nothing really crazy about it. It is very smooth and nice formula. Then the next one over, Wild One, is a little bit more chunky metallic. That one's probably like the best, I feel like, match for like a lid shade, metallic lid shade, but it is very chunky and it just doesn't feel extremely easy to put on. It feels like there's going to be a lot of fallout, just kind of swatching it there, if you can see. And it just feels like chunky, and then it feels like it's going to have a good amount of fallout, which it definitely does when you swatch it. So, you know, maybe use a glitter glue with that one. I do think it's a beautiful shade, but I hate that it kind of comes off like that. So that's a pet peeve for me, for sure. So then moving into the other two shades in that one, there is Safari, which I believe is that this shade right here, Safari. So that is like just a, you know, warmer brown, a metallic. Once again, that one actually is more of a, I would say like a shimmer rather than, I mean, it does look like a metallic, but doesn't have glitter in it the way that the other one does. Like this has glitter in it and it's very chunky. This one is smooth. And I would say on the top two, this one is chunkier and this one is smooth. So I don't understand really why they're doing that, but their metallics definitely have more fallout. And then this is Smolder, which is one of those darker shades I think that feels more chalky. So then we'll get into the last quad here, and then I would consider these two to be shimmers. They're not fully metallic, and I guess that helps with their formula. They definitely feel like just a nicer, smoother formula. And I think that this one is called Real, and then that matte next to it is Brave, like this nice crease color matte. It's just like a mid-tone brown, pretty light. And then this pink here, this one is called Free, and it is, yep, just a pink shimmer shade. And then the last one there is Feisty, and this one is actually a really smooth brown, darker brown, but I don't know why these two are chalky. But so that is, you know, the way that they swatched, and I think they swatched pretty true to color. There's no surprises from looking at the pan and then swatching them, and there's no surprises on putting them in your eyes and, you know, swatching them. I do feel like I did my eye makeup after I did everything else. Oh, I do have fallout from those glittery shades. So I used both the glitters, and in the demo, you'll see that in a minute. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Now let's compare the Tartelette in Bloom to this Maneater palette and see what you guys think. Now, one of the things that always held me back from buying, like from loving the Tartelette in Bloom, which it's a very loved palette. I don't know if you can tell. Had it for a while and I love it. Is that there's not that many shimmer shades. There's, you know, two 2 metallics and 1 shimmer in this palette, and I just didn't feel like that covered enough for me. And my Funny Girl, the lighter shimmer in here, definitely wasn't the best formula. I don't know if I just kind of got a dud, but yeah, so that was really what held me back from this, loving the crap out of this palette. So I was very excited that there's 6 shimmers in here rather than 3. So they both have 12 shadows, but this one has 6 shimmers and this one has 3 shimmers. So I love the direction they're going with that new one in terms of putting way more shimmers in it. That's awesome. And they're both very, you know, neutral, but you can see that I feel like, you know, there's more range in this one. Or not, yeah, I guess there's more range because there's like that pinky tone in there. And this one's just laid out really basic. You can definitely get similar looks, definitely. But this gives a little bit more punch, but I love that other palette too. So, I mean, I can't really complain. I think this might be more warm than this is. That's what I would say. So then let's move over to the Tartelette Juicy palette and look at this puppy compared to this. Now, I feel like these are very similar. I feel like if you have this Juicy palette, you probably don't need this. Once again, there's less shimmers in here. They've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shimmers out of 20 shades. But I mean, it's more. And then 6 out of 12. So I do think that these two look really, really spot on to me. The only thing is, like, I like the shimmers in this new one more than I like the shimmer choice in here. So let me do that. I think the mattes line up pretty well, but let me swatch some of these shimmers and try to see how they align with the shimmers over here, and I'll put it up on top. So on top, I swatched some of the shimmers from that Juicy palette so you can see how they compare. Like, this one is a nice shimmer and it definitely compares nicely to that one. This one compares nicely to that. This one pretty spot on. There's nothing that looks like this in that other palette. This one is kind of close to that. This one's kind of close to this too. I don't know. And then there's that pink color. So I really do feel like you're gonna get the look out of this palette. So if you have it, the only thing I'd say is the packaging is definitely not as convenient and travel friendly. Obviously, this is really nice. You can stick this in your bag and take it on the go. But I think the pricing was the same, but I think they might be discontinuing this and just coming out with the smaller Juicy palette, which I haven't picked up. So anyway, those are like my initial thoughts on this. I'm going to show you guys a demo and then I'll do my final thoughts. But like I said, it's swatched pretty nicely. There's a couple shades that are powdery. If you have the Juicy, I don't think that you really need it. It's nothing going to be unique, but I'm a sucker for the packaging and I love Tarte, so I picked it up. So let's roll right into the try-on. So let's get started. First, I'm gonna set my eyes with this color right here, which I believe is called Loved. A large brush, just to cover the area quickly. It does seem to be kicking up a lot. A lot of powder kick up. But one shade down, so far so good. It's pretty easy. Then we'll go in with the next shade. Let's use this one down here, and this one I think is Brave. And it is just a matte, light tan shade. And I am gonna use that just to buff into the crease and kind of cover most of the upper lid. Both sides. So far so good. Now let's build up the outer corner a little bit. So we'll use this shade right here, which is just a nice brown, and I think that's called Idol. I think that's Idol. Just start building up the crease and that outer corner. So I'm only going like a third of the way in on my outer mobile lid right here. But I will blend this into the crease. And I don't, for the crease, I guess I stop like right at the end of my eyeball, like I'm not going into this area here. I don't want it to be too dark on the most inner portion, so just kind of focus this on the outer portions. Okay, I'm gonna use that same brush and go into the next darkest brown, which is this one down here, and I believe this is called Free. A little bit darker over the same area. Now just keeping it on the outside, not going further into the crease. So far so good with the pigmentation. I'm going to take a clean brush and just blend that some. Everything seems to be pretty pigmented and laying down easily. I'll go into the next deepest brown, which is this one up here, and I believe this is called Roar. I'm laying this one like closer to my lash line. It's definitely a good amount of browns in here, but I like that. I like to build this little gradient of color. All right, now that that's down, let's go into one of the glittery shades for my lid. I'm kind of between this pinker one up here, which is called Attract, I believe, or I'm kind of torn between this one here, which I believe is called Wild One. So that's Attract and Wild One. I think I'm gonna go with Attract first, the darker one. Looking really nice. Just putting it on with my finger. Try to close my eye as much as I can so I make sure that I'm getting it all the way into the crease, because of course I can't really see when my eyes are closed. And I don't go all the way out to the edge. I just kind of maybe take it like right to the end, but I'm pressing really lightly over here on the end. I am gonna take, I guess, this lighter color down here. This is just a shimmer. I believe it's called Real. And I'm gonna take this and put it in my inner corner. So I'm blending this from the inner corner out so that it's kind of lightened right in this area, and I'm kind of fading it. And then I'll even, well, this one is kind of dark. I probably shouldn't have gone that dark for the inner corner. I mean, it's fine where it's put, but like on the innermost corner, it's kind of dark here. So I don't like that. So I'm gonna go in with the lightest color in here, which is this one right here, the lightest shimmer shade, and that's Cloud 9. I'm gonna put that on my pinky finger because that's the smallest one that can kind of get into that area. And I'm gonna use that to pack that down, and wow. And that is really bright and beautiful. So I really like that. Okay, then to finish off the eyes, I'm gonna go under the eyes with the blender brush. I will start with the lighter shade down here. I think this one was called Brave. Good amount of kick up still. Just gonna start with that one down there, and I might get a little bit darker. I don't like to go too dark underneath my eyes. I don't know. I just don't love that look on me. So got that one, and then I'm gonna go right into the next shade and keep this towards the outer part. Okay, and I think this looks pretty good. I'm very happy with, and overall, this is the eye look, and I think I really like it. Maybe I'll take one brighter shade. Let's take that one I dipped into but never used, the Wild One shade. Let's just pop that in the center. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you can take a lighter shade and just pop it like right in the center of the eyelid, it kind of just brings a little bit more light to that center, and that's always a pretty cool look. So figured I wanted to try to use as many shadows as I could, and I really like that. So I'm really liking this. It applied really nicely, and I know that it's all neutral colors, but I feel like they're neutral, nice colors and easy to wear. I'm gonna try, so it's got this pink in here on the bottom, and I don't know why. I'm just gonna see if I can maybe use that as like a little blush topper or something. So I'm gonna go into it with a blush brush because I just don't use pinks very much on my eyes, and just see, it's very metallic, but I don't know, it can just be a cute little blush topper. You know, just because it's eyeshadow doesn't mean you can't use it for whatever you want to. As a matter of fact, I could probably use this as an all over face palette if I wanted to. Just to do my blush, my bronzer, my highlight, everything with this palette. So there it is. That is the end result. I think it looks really pretty. The shades were easy to apply. I didn't have any problems. There's not that much fallout yet. I don't know how they're gonna wear over time, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm just playing with it a little bit more, and I like it. I think this is, so far so good. I'm happy with this purchase. I think $39 was a little steep for this, but I like the convenience of it. I think it's a little innovative with all of the different options in here, and I love Tarte eyeshadows, the Amazonian clay ones. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!